Hi, this is Mary Beth Harrison with Dallas Native Voice, and today I'm with Laura Grinnell with Roundtree Landscaping, and I want to talk about maintaining this yard. We spend money on our plants, we spend money on the bushes, we spend money on our yard. What do I do? You know, now that I've done this, what do I do with it, right? So talk to me about that.
So regardless of whether you buy a home with an existing landscape, whether it just has the shrubs across the foundation, or you buy
most of them, unfortunately. Here, let's
Exactly.
do this look. All of them are right there, right?
Yes.
It's like, could we not have moved some out? Right, go ahead.
But regardless of whether you buy a home with that, you invested after you've moved in, you've made an investment in that home. So maintain the value that you've invested in your landscape and your home.
Right.
So it's important to hire a professional that knows what they're doing so they can identify issues as they arise rather than letting them build up when the layman sees it right away.
So the mow and go, as I call them, because they're in and out of your yard in, maybe 12 minutes? Maybe. And that's if you have a pretty good sized yard. They are in, they are out, they're not looking right or left. So plants that are starting to have a problem, they're never going to see it. And so by the time I see it, I'm usually calling you going, Laura, it's a problem, there's this, yeah, right?
Correct.
So talk to me about that. How do we get ahead of that? How does that, and how we don't wait until it gets so bad?
Well, that's where you would hire the professional. The professional horticultural service that can come and take care of your landscape. They can identify the insects, identify the disease, and get on top of those issues quickly and have them resolved before the homeowner typically even knows there's an issue.
Right, because I know you found some like underneath a leaf. I would have never, ever thought to look underneath a leaf to see if there was a problem. And yet you walked right to it and saw that we were starting to have a problem in a bush. So yeah, I can see the value of that. So what else am I looking for? Is it just the bushes and the lawn, or what else?
On top of the bushes and the lawn, it's also important to have somebody that is knowledgeable about irrigation. You don't want to water too much or too little. We have different plants require different watering levels, and you want to make sure that your landscape is hydrazoned. So that may also be an area to address if you've bought a home and you're not sure why one plant is looking poorly versus the other one looking very healthy. There may be a watering issue. So you want to have everything looked at and evaluated to make sure that investment is going to.
So we're not just talking about the green stuff, we're talking about the irrigation, we're talking about the sprinkler system. And if you don't have a sprinkler system, that probably is a really good investment, a phenomenal investment. And again, if that's done right, obviously we can't have the same water go everywhere at the same amount of time, right? So if you can cordon off each of those, is that what you help them do? Is figure out which section needs how much faces your yard. Does
Correct.
everyone need grass?
No, not everyone needs grass, and that brings me to an important part of irrigation. You want to make sure that your turf, and depending on if it's a little shadier sun,
Right.
you want to have those on separate zones. You want to have your turf separate from your beds, separate from your ground cover, separate from your trees, so that you can water them all independently.
Right. You know, I had those huge trees and I could never get anything to grow under. We kept planting grass, I kept planting grass. You didn't, I did. I kept planting grass thinking, I know it'll work this time. I know if I just, please grow, please grow, please grow. Yeah, so what's the alternative when you have these trees and grass is not going to grow? We're gonna have to get over that.
Correct. Grass will not grow. It needs a minimum amount of sun depending on the turf that you have underneath your tree.
Okay.
You will never prune a tree enough to get enough sunlight to get the grass to grow. You will over prune the tree and inevitably it will decline and die. So you want to look at ground covers, and we have clumping versus creeping ground covers. So there's a variety of plants that will work in those shade areas.
Okay.
And then you can create a park-like setting, a serene look, and you can still have the greenery underneath the tree.
Yeah, because I tell my clients when you move into a house, it's like the good news is you have trees, and the bad news is you have trees. And so there's just that. There's good and bad of having, but who doesn't want these beautiful native trees that we have all over our city, and so just learning how to work with it is half the battle, right?
Correct, yes. And over time, a tree will get large and shade out the yard. So then it's time to address that.
You know, it's kind of like buying a puppy. You think, oh my gosh, they're so cute and adorable. And the next thing you know, they're the size of a horse. People plant landscape, I see it all the time, or plant a tree because it's so pretty right here by the house, and yet is the worst possible thing you can do. So you went to the store, you bought a tree, you thought, let's put it right here, instead of consulting someone that knows why that tree would be equally beautiful in a few years, mind you, but somewhere else.
Correct.
So much to know. You know, it's not just a simple buy a house and we've spent so much money on the landscape, the house, and everything else, and we want it all to work. It's not a matter of because we bought it, it's just going to be okay. Gosh, so much to learn. You can go to our website at dallasnative.com and learn a little bit more there. You can always go to Roundtree Landscaping and learn more than I do.